Services begin for a fallen police officer. Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Rochelle Metzger.
And I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us this evening. Well, many hearts in the community are still heavy as people get ready to say their final goodbyes to the young officer slain in the line of duty. Jacai Colson was responding to gunfire from Michael Ford when he was accidentally hit by a colleague's bullet. Today, friends, family, and fellow law enforcement officers gathered at his wake. Denise Douglas has the details.
I am here at the Beauvoir Funeral Home in Beltsville for the viewing of Officer Jacai Colson. We're going to bring you back here where you can see more clearly the door behind me where folks are beginning to file in to say their final goodbyes to this much beloved officer. Let me tell you, I've heard a lot of good things about him. For example, he's described as the kind of person with a great personality who would light up a room. The 4-year veteran of the department is also being called a hero for the act that ultimately took his life. Back on March 13th, he arrived at the Palmer Park Police Station to find Michael Ford shooting at the building and nearby vehicles. Colson, who was in plain clothes, fired back. In all of that melee, one of his own colleagues mistakenly shot him. We talked with Colson's father, who describes the pain of losing his son.
We're holding on, and we have the strength of the fact that Jacai is a hero, and he died a hero. And he was very proud of working for the Prince George's County Police Department. Every day, from time to time, when we would talk to him, he would always have nice stories to share with us about the police department. So we're proud of the fact that he was doing a job that he loved.
I know I've said it before, and people have said it many times about people being great and wonderful. He did not have a mean bone in his body. Loved everyone. When you might have been upset with him, he continues to love no matter what. And like I said, always had his hat backwards, had a smile on his face, and could always make you smile even in your worst moment.
Colson is survived by his parents and a younger brother. He grew up in Boothwyn, Pennsylvania. One final note, Ford and his brothers are in jail charged with murder and related charges in Colson's death. His brothers, that is Ford's brothers, videotaped the incident. I'm Denise Douglas, CTV News.
And Officer Colson's memorial service will be held tomorrow at 11 in the morning at the First Baptist Church of Glenarden. He will be laid to rest in his native Pennsylvania. And with hundreds of mourners coming to pay their final respects to the fallen officer tomorrow, drivers should plan ahead for their morning commute. Traffic is expected to be heavy on roads near the First Baptist Church of Glenarden, leading in and out of Prince George's. Highway officials are anticipating the congestion to begin as early as 7 a.m. and end around 2 in the afternoon. The State Highway Administration has activated electronic signs along the Beltway between exits 20 and 25 as well.
Rescue crews respond to a fire that displaced 24 people early this morning. It occurred in a townhouse development in the 7000 block of Chadsford Road off Route 50 in Brandywine. CTV's Janine Samuels has more on the incident.
Yes, obviously it was a very unfortunate situation early this morning here. As you can see behind me, there are 4 homes that were impacted by the fire and a 5th home that looks like it was burned mainly on the outside. Now there are still residents here kind of lingering on the outside, and some of which are in their homes kind of looking around just to see if there is anything remaining and what exactly was destroyed by the fire. On the flip side, the good news is everyone was able to get out. There were no injuries and everyone is safe. The blaze was not your typical wake-up call, and unfortunately the flames weren't satisfied with just one townhouse. They quickly moved next door, including the home of this neighbor, William Davis, who just moved in 2 months ago.
Maybe around 3 o'clock in the morning. I heard some popping going on, and I was trying to figure out where was that coming from. And I looked outside of my window to the right of me, and I saw a house on fire. So I immediately got my parents out the house, and when I came outside, the 2 houses beside us was in flames, and within 10 minutes of that, our house became in flames.
Davis and his parents are upset over the loss of memorabilia and a few keepsakes, but are still in good spirits.
They're a little shocked, but they're fine. They know that God has them, and everything that was damaged in that fire is replaceable.
While the smell of burnt wood still lingers, fire rescue units from both Clinton and Brandywine worked together to stop further damage.
We called for a second alarm worth of companies to assist with putting the fire out. Had the fire controlled in about 30 minutes, had no injuries to civilians, no injuries to firemen.
Now, I was able to talk to two families that lived in the townhomes behind me, and of course they're devastated for the loss and actually can't believe that this happened. However, they are very thankful that everyone was able to get out of the homes in time and safely. In Brandywine, I'm Janine Samuels for CTV News.
At this time, investigators are still determining the cause of the fire and where it began. The deaths of 4 people shocked by police stun guns has one local leader calling for a statewide review of the incidents and subsequent investigations. Montgomery County Executive Ike Leggett tells the Baltimore Sun that he wants to make sure the cases were properly handled. Leggett is also ordering police to review stun gun use after a Sun report found that officers frequently failed to follow best practices. According to the paper, 4 of the 11 related deaths in Maryland since 2009 involved Montgomery County officers.
Applause filled the State House in Annapolis as lawmakers passed the governor's $42 billion budget. The deal, which was approved 135 to 5, fully funds K-12 education and the state's pension system. It also provides for raises for state employees. Governor Hogan released a statement praising House leaders for their bipartisan support. A similar version already passed unanimously in the Senate. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone.
And I'm Rochelle Metzger.